He's there in team 2, bottom.
Is it?
I've got him down as being left.
I think Madigan is not in here.
Matagon,
I'm in there.
he is. First team, second from the bottom.
Yeah, he is. Sure. Ah. Let's see. Yeah.
So Mini Bjorn that's not in.
Yeah, Mini is not.
Oh, Mini Bjorn. Ah.
He doesn't like me. He always.
But he's not welcome. He's winner of the 3 versus 3.
I think he might have beat you. Is that right? That's what he said.
Yeah.
Well, there's always room for a spectator.
I'm not saying that he goes on about it a lot, but we are aware if he beat you.
Yep. Well, you can see it on the tag. Behind the name on TeamSpeak.
At least you got a tag. They won't give me a tag.
Yeah. Oh. I should drop one. Alrighty. But let me see. Mini Bjorn does not accept the invite, and I believe it's about time to go. So, we're just gonna go. All right,
Yeah.
everybody. Today is going to be about lights. Now, what lights need to do? There's a lot of, how do you call it, tasks overlapping of lights and mediums. But some, well, things they are more for lights and some things a little bit more for the mediums. All right, everybody, go to the center of the field. No shooting yet. Now, on any map, what, or for example, can we give examples what the mission is of a light tank?
Spot.
Getting.
Spot. Yes, spot. That is absolutely one objective, something that lights need to do. Now, there are several ways of spotting. Can we give some examples?
Passive and aggressive are the two main ones.
Passive and aggressive, yes. But even in passive and aggressive, there are some differences. And that mainly has to do about the risk you take. Because when can be passive scouting, when can it be very risky?
If you don't know where the enemy light tanks are getting into that position. On some maps, if it's
yes,
like...
yes,
yeah.
not being aware where the enemy can spot you, that could be tricky. But this map is a very good example. Especially next to the water, we have some good examples of bushes where a lot of players like to go to.
Did you enter?
But every enemy knows those bushes, every experienced player. So they might be already focused on that position. So if you get spotted, then first you get spotted, then you die, and then your sixth sense goes off. And there's not much you can do then. Or they might even blind fire. So that is very, very risky. Now, the aggressive spot on this map, we know how tricky it can be. But can you also have places where you can go safely for an aggressive spot?
Oh, you guys answered already.
Yeah. It's 7:30 for the British time, 8:30 for Central European. So we started already. 2 minutes too late.
It's on my live stream if you want to watch it.
So, but where can we do an aggressive spot? Can we give a good example on this map?
The bush down there.
Yeah.
That is not a safe aggressive spot. It is an aggressive spot, but it's very likely there will be a lot of guns aiming towards that position.
Where I would do the aggressive spot is in Halo 1 and Kilo 3.
Very risky. No, it's not a safe spot.
And if it's encounter and you spawn up there, an aggressive spot is of course when the light tanks push up there and try and proxy spot everything.
Yeah, but it's still very risky. No, you don't have to think complicated. Watch you're still up on the hill. Remember, you're just peeking over a ridge. If there's a tank coming, he probably doesn't even have the gun operating to shoot you. So you can quite easily and fast run away into cover. For example, on Sand River, you have a D6, D7 area where there's a hill. Yeah, you can do a little bit of an aggressive spot. And of course, there is always a little bit of risk. But as soon as you spot something, you can fall instantly back behind cover. Now that is a little bit of a safe aggressive spot. So yes, it is possible the enemy will shoot you, but it is highly unlikely, and even if they shoot you once, yeah, you'll still get away with it. Like for example, anywhere else on this map, or at least the ones I know, every aggressive spot or something like it, it is dangerous. Because, you know, you're pretty much in the open and the enemy will have shots on you, or they will be able to push on you. So, those are different ways of spotting. Now, why do we spot?
Information.
Information. Could that be the only thing?
No, the second option would.
I'm sorry?
Experience.
Experience. Yeah, but you get experience for only spotting.
Marks of excellence.
Definitely don't get a mark of excellence by just spotting. No.
Damage.
I would
damage,
spot
yes.
for my
Assisted
team to do
damage.
damage.
Yes, for the assistance. So technically your teammates will already be able to do some damage on the tanks you spot. Yes. But like we said, it's also for information. Now, what is the good thing and what is the bad thing if you spot for information?
Ooh,
May not get
Team
assistance.
radius and they don't do anything.
Yeah, that is very, very dangerous. I mean, if, like I said, your team, well, technically should push up the hill with at least 7-8 tanks, but you already got for a quick spot at the beginning, those 7-8 tanks, well, maybe 1 or 2 will keep moving, the other ones will stop to aid. It's a little bit the same on Lakeville. A lot of people go for the quick spot in the middle, but there's nothing they can shoot. But they stay in the open, they get spotted, and they die. If you don't spot, your team will keep moving to the city. Now, it might sound crazy, but it's even better that you don't spot the enemy than you do spot the enemy. Now, that is very crazy, but there is a psychological effect to spotting. Because, especially in randoms, your teammates will stop moving and start aiming. It probably would have been better just from moving. Of course, if they have clear shots, which is like on this map, very likely, it could be worth a lot more. And it could be a lot better to go for that quick spot. He can do some damage. Sometimes they cannot. Now, as you can see, we have influence on how the complete team moves around the map, when they stop and when they move. If there's, for example, a lemming train on a map, can you stop that lemming train?
no.
No, I think you can. What happens if you move in front of that lemming train and you will spot the first enemy tank?
They all stop and shoot it.
Yes, absolutely. They will all find cover behind a rock and they will all start spike scraping and playing hold down. They're not going to push it because, ooh, it's one enemy tank. Ooh, very scary. Now, sometimes that can be a good thing. Sometimes it's a bad thing. So, like I said, if you think like, oh, they're pushing way too fast and they're moving too far from the base, do it. Even that is more powerful than spotting the other side. Because if you spot something on the other side, they all think collectively that's somebody else's job. Might sound crazy, but that's how it is. If they see a tank in front of them, they stop. If they see 5 tanks on the other flank, they just keep moving. It's a weird psychology of spotting.
User joined your
Alright.
channel.
But like I said, sometimes it could be very important to give information to the team, especially in team-related battles when you think your teammates are a little bit more intelligent. Now, when is it important to spot? Mainly.
When you're losing.
Well, when you're losing, spotting doesn't matter anymore.
When you've got no idea where the enemy tanks are.
Could be.
Right in the beginning of the game.
That's exactly. That is a very good one. In the beginning of the game is normally one of the most powerful moments to spot. Because even, well, especially in team play, spotting 1 or 2 tanks and the team commander knows the complete strategy of the enemy team. That is very, very powerful. Now, when is it powerful again to spot?
When
You
your
have
allies,
campers.
when your
User
allies
left
are
your channel.
when your allies are in position already, and you
User
know
joined your
that
channel.
if you spot something over there, your allies are gonna shoot it.
Yeah, but usually if your allies are in position, the enemy is in position, and It's usually a little bit standoff, and that is actually in randoms, especially, it's a little bit of a standoff, and all you need
I
to
know.
do is do
Have a guess.
nothing. I'm sorry.
I have a guess for the question.
Yes, tell me.
When one of your flank gets destroyed and the enemy's pushing on your base and everybody's camping on like one of the sides and you need to spot them as they're pushing, so...
Well, it could be,
Think so?
you know, spotting the base, but mainly
Yeah.
the end game. The end
Yeah,
game.
that's what I was talking about.
Yeah. You have, you know, the beginning, the start, well, the beginning of the game, the start, then it's very important. The end game is very important because then you, even with 2 lights you can kill 3, 4 heavy just by spotting, sniping, and there's plenty of space to run around. But in the middle, you're not that valuable. All the mediums and heavies, they also have very decent view range. They will spot their own thing and they will do their own thing. And when you get involved, you're only going to die. So the difficulty of a light is to stay alive. That time. That boring time in the middle. Which could be, well, some battles only 1 or 2 minutes, but sometimes it's 10, 11, 12 minutes. And you're just getting involved. And there's nothing you can do, just wait until the end game starts. And there's a lot of freedom for you to move around the map. You can go flank, you can, you know, play the spotting game and things like that. Get artillery. Whatever suits you. Now, if you learn to be patient, that middle game, you're probably going to do about 2-3 times as much damage as you're doing now in a light. And if you think about it, it probably makes sense. Alright! So, now, but we're also half mediums,
User in your channel timed out.
and besides the spotting, what other things can we do in a light? Or should we do?
Shooting.
Assassinations.
Assassination. Alright, now, what kind of tank can we assassinate?
Well, I hate to
Low
say it,
health.
but it's arty. You're
Arty.
arty.
Yeah, absolutely.
Slow,
tanks.
slow tanks with 0 view range.
Slow tanks with 0 view range. If you're gonna play the ninja game, they don't even need to have the 0 view range. Now, what is the big problem with slow tanks?
Armor most of the time.
Yeah, you're right. Absolutely armor. If I think about a T-95 or OIs or Mouses or things like that, you know, the slow speed usually is combined with a lot of armor. We don't want to fight those things. Well, maybe a T-95 in the back, but then it comes down to the end game. And yes, then it could be some shit comes and giggles to troll it and to flank it. But usually not at the beginning. Now, we already talked about artillery. Right from the start, it's very unlikely we can push for their artillery. Right?
Yeah, right.
Why?
Because you have to get through
Because-
their team, and their arty's normally close to their team at that time.
Yeah. And if you're on a map where there is a little bit of space between the front line and the artillery, it's usually still not a smart thing to do, because somebody's going to chase you down, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, who's going to chase you? Is that going to be the T-95, the TD?
Enemy light tanks.
Absolutely. Enemy light, enemy medium. So, if it would have been the other way around, if there was a light, enemy light, YOLOing in,
Chase him, track him, kill him, ammo rack him, whatever you can. Just stop him before he can spot
absolutely.
your
yeah.
tanks.
So, it is also one of our objectives to stop enemy light. That is absolutely
Okay.
true. And of course, you know, maybe we're not going to chase them down when they're on their side of the map, so they have too much cover from their TDs, their heavies, and mediums. No, we're going to wait until they cross over, and when they go too far, that is when we need to punish it. And if that means we need to trade some shots, yeah, so be it. Because if that light can do whatever he wants, he can light the complete team up and, you know, make sure the artillery gets killed, the Waffentrigger gets an artillery shot and things like that. You're gonna lose. So that is absolutely a very important objective. Now, what do we do so we are sure that we can do this objective? Can fulfill it?
I don't know. Stay safe.
I'm sorry?
Stay safe.
No, this is not about playing safe.
Look at minimap.
Yes, we need to have a very high situational awareness. Absolutely true. Yes, and the minimap is one of them. But sometimes, you know, when you know, for example, your complete team is on B0, you're somewhere down E8, and you know that there's a light on top on A9 enemy, and the artillery is on, I don't know, let's say K9, and you already notice him driving down. And you know that he spotted your complete team. You could already know that he's probably going to flank around and try to get artillery. So you might already need to relocate. Sometimes you can already see it, how they move away from the group, like, hey, that tank is going to go for artillery.
User joined your channel.
So, that could be interesting. Alright, so we need to protect our team from getting spotted, by killing their lights, if possible. Alright, are there any other things we can do?
Track opponents.
We absolutely can track opponents, yes. Why is it so easy, or at least good for us to track an opponent, or an enemy? Sorry.
Stops their advance.
It
Yeah.
makes them stationary for Artie to take them out.
And assistant damage, yeah.
Well, yes, assistant damage. Now, remember that if there is, I don't know, any tank, and I don't know, what's my alpha with this gun? 250. Now, if there's a tank that has 2,000 hit points, and I will shoot him 3 times in the side, what do I get?
Well, you just get that amount of damage.
You get 300.
Yeah,
damage.
if I do 3 shots on him.
750.
Yeah, you get like
750. Now, what if I do 1 tracking shot?
yeah.
Well,
when they kill
most-
him, you get 2,000 assistance, which
Yeah.
is like 1,000 of yours.
Yes, I get 1,000, I get the XP and the credits for 1,000
For half the damage.
damage.
Yeah.
So, actually, I get a lot more XP and I get a lot more credit if I go for the tracks.
Thank you for following.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of people forgetting, you know. They think, oh no, I need to shoot it, I need to shoot it. No, if you want to make credits and you want to get XP, shoot the tracks. It's worth a lot more.
And is it cumulative with the spotting?
I'm sorry?
Does it add with the spotting? I mean, if I spot a tank and I detract him, is it better, or
Well-
it's no different then?
The funny part is, if Madigan and me are, let's say, over here, and we both, well, I think it would not be a surprise, we can both spot Yoshi, right? So, let's say they kill Yoshi, I'm not going to shoot him now, that's 707
User in your channel timed out.
damage we spot. So that means we both get half of it, which is 380, 385 spotting damage. But if I shoot on Yoshi's track and I detrack him, I'm sorry, Madigan. Madigan gets nothing, and I get the 770 spotting damage.
Ah. So if you're both spotting, it's shared.
If you both spot it, it's shared. Yes.
Okay. But if one of you tracks and both are spotting, the one that tracks takes everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
So basically, tracking is priority then.
Yeah, absolutely. Even if you know you're here and artillery shoots, and artillery tracks the enemy and only does 20 damage, hit points, that artillery still gets all the spotting damage.
Awesome. Wow.
And
Although
if
it's not
there
one.
is only one person spotting,
I'm sorry?
if there is only one person spotting, does it add? I mean, it is better to only to spot or to spot and detract, considering experience?
If you already detract the tank, you don't have to spot them anymore.
Okay.
But if
But
you do
if you
both,
already
yeah.
spot, if you already spot, does it matter if you also track? I think it's all
No,
assistance.
no.
It doesn't matter.
No, it's still the assistant damage, it's the same.
Yeah.
But usually if you track him, then he dies a lot faster because your teammates won't miss that many shots on him.
Ah, yeah, of course.
It's a lot easier. Sometimes it can also be better to let him move. Can we give an example? Alright, if I say Mike Nispel. If you, for example, in a Type 64 would be fighting a Cromwell, what would happen if you could keep on moving? And Mike Nispel would be moving as well.
Also aim.
Yeah, but then it's very likely that the Type 64 are going to win. If you track the Cromwell, it's very likely that the Cromwell is going to win. For the very simple reason that the Cromwell has a much better DPM and he has a little bit more hit points. So he's very powerful, but one thing he is not, and that is accurate on the move. So as long as he's moving, he will probably miss or bounce half of his shot. But when you track him, he's stationary, he will penetrate his shot. Now, sometimes it's better not to track him, and it's going to be a lot easier to kill him. Unless the player is, you know, a little bit smart and knows that, hey, I just need to stay stationary and I will hit him. But usually they're afraid of that and they want to keep on moving. Alright, so, tracking should be very powerful, absolutely, yes.
I found another thing. Oh, sorry. Another thing I found very useful for light tanks is that they can act as a very good distraction, using their speed to distract the enemy when the mediums are going in. Because they're watching the light, they totally miss the fact that the medium is actually right on their tail and about to take them out.
Yeah, you're already making it a very, very complicated strategy. I would just say go flank, and whether it's going to be from the side or from the back or whatever, but make sure you can fall into cover. Now, if it happens that the enemy tank, it is a heavy tank, is still shooting towards your teammates, that means that you can, you have all the freedom in the world to just stay stationary, reload, and shoot again. But if they turn their tanks towards you, then we get the situation, what we just heard. Then you just need to fall into cover somewhere, and then your teammates have 3 shots on the sides or the back of the enemy turret. So then you're technically just distracting them. But the basic tactic is flanking. And yes, you can absolutely do that. But what is the danger about flanking?
Well,
You most likely can't get away in time.
yeah.
You run into somebody else.
Yeah, especially nowadays in randoms, both teams have about pretty much the same setup in tanks. So they also have the speed and the mobility. So it's not unlikely that as soon as they see you doing it, they will flank you. So the only time to do it is actually when you spot the enemy. And you know already, like, oh, all their mediums and fast tanks are on the left flank, I can go flank some heavy tanks from the right. It absolutely, but definitely in the late game, yes, very powerful, please do it. Alright, what else can you do with a light?
Flip over.
Absolutely, if you're lucky.
It's also very good for resetting the
flank
gap.
things.
Because you're so fast, you can reset the gap if the enemy ever gets to your gap.
Yeah. Well, your mobility. You know, to go to the left flank, go to the right flank, go for put pressure on their base, defend your own cap. Absolutely, speed and mobility. That is one of your friends. That is absolutely right. Whether for what reason whatsoever, it absolutely is. Yeah. And you know that relocating is also a very powerful weapon, which what a lot of people underestimate. I've seen it a lot. Can I give an example of a map? I had it quite recently on the map Steps. Do we all know the map Steps?
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Our team, with a bunch of lights and mediums, we pushed on the 9-0 line, and we made it to the other side. And from that position, we were, you know, we were not able to cap, and we were in that area trying to, well, put some pressure on over there. The enemy, they sent more tanks to the 1-2-3 line, and they went all the way around, and they were putting pressure on our base. At that time, me and 2 other guys, we left that flank near the enemy base, and we pulled back to our base. And because we did that, we won the battle. Because suddenly, there were both about the same amount of tanks fighting each other. But because of us returning to our base, we had an advantage over there. And we could kill all those tanks quite easily that were putting pressure on our base, and after that, well, a few tanks left, yeah, a walk in the park. But like I said, speed and mobility is absolutely a powerful weapon. And many tactics or strategies you can do with that speed and mobility. Alright, there is one more important thing what you can do with a light. And you all like it, I'm pretty sure.
Capping.
No. Could be, but it's not that interesting.
Circling the heavies.
Yay! Isn't that what we all like?
Weren't we talking about that just before?
Not really. No, there is a difference between flanking and brawling. Do we know what the big difference is?
No.
No.
Flanking.
Flanking's hit and run.
Yeah. If, for example, where we are now, or let's say, yeah, the enemy, Yogi's team is where they are now, and they're fighting my heavy, and I would move with my light towards C5. Would that be flanking?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, because you can shoot his rear arse.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. But flanking can be very or relatively safe. You don't have to flank from 2 meters distance. And what you're doing is just by flanking, make sure you can shoot the enemy on a weak spot, or the sides, or the back. But you can be on a safe distance. And the safer the distance, the better it is. For example, you know the German mediums, the Leopard. It's an excellent tank to flank. But a lot of people, yeah, it's a strong sniper. Yes, it's a strong sniper, but please,
User disconnected from
go
your
to a
channel.
position where you can shoot in the flank. You also need to control the map, you know, and not just hang in the back, stay next to the artillery behind the TDs and snipe from there, because then you're pretty much useless. I mean, like I said, TDs and heavies can do the same job, maybe probably even better. But flanking, like I said, the TDs and the heavies probably don't have the speed, the mobility, those kind of things for it. So yeah, that is absolutely flanking. What is brawling? I think you all know it.
Slugging it out, having a fight.
Yeah, technically you're using your speed and mobility to stay out of the gun of the enemy. So you just need to, you know, drive circles around it. Yeah, I think to learn to brawl correctly, to brawl correctly, what do we need to do?
Stay in motion.
Stay in motion,
out the way of their
absolutely.
turret.
Well, yes and no. Because what is your biggest friend if you want to brawl a tank?
A DPM.
Oh,
Speed.
not really speed, not necessarily. It is a friend.
Hit points.
No. You technically you're trying to drive away from his gun. So
Is it your height?
Angling your tank.
no, we're not gonna angle. I mean, if you're fighting a heavy with a light, then you're not gonna expect to bounce a shot. If you do, then you're lucky.
Is it the height of your tank?
No,
Shoot and move.
Maneuverability.
Shoot and move.
it's the biggest button on your keyboard.
Handbrake.
Handbrake, absolutely. Why is the handbrake such a big friend?
You can turn faster than normal.
Yeah. I'm going to give you an example. If, for example, Electric Warrior, just stay over there, and I would go here for full speed, and I would try to aim for him, and I'm going to turn around him. Look at the distance I'm making. This is now maximum turning. Look at that wide circle. Trust me, I don't know which heavy tank I'm engaging, but they will be able to shoot me. Now, if I go push on him, and I use the handbrake, oh, bollocks, it went off my speed. But I can make a lot smaller circle, and even though I'm losing a lot of speed, yeah, well, this is a light, so he's probably capable, but even then, I can make a lot smaller circle.
Yeah, but he can shoot you as well in the same
Yeah,
time.
because this is a light tank, and his turret moves around a lot faster. But you need to use the handbrake to make small circles around him. You cannot go full speed. So even, yeah, if you guys want to try it, you know, my team spread out a little bit, and everybody finds yourself an enemy tank where you want to drive circles around. First, Medigon, let the enemy team try it first. Just find yourself an enemy tank which is stationary. Gonna do this a few times. Try to make a circle around it first without using a handbrake and just go full speed and see how big your turn is. And then try to do it with using the handbrake.
The ping rate
And
is
you will notice
not
that,
very good.
yeah, you can do it a lot faster if you, well, use the handbrake or... Archie, you need to use your handbrake more in randoms, you know how it works. But even, you know, you're losing quite a lot of speed, you will make faster circles around it because you're so much closer to the enemy. Now remember, most of us are driving in light and medium, so... Alright, let's do it the other way around. So, those who are making circles now stay stationary.
User left your channel.
Ah, sorry.
You just try to make a small circle as small as possible around it. If you want to control your speed, you know, releasing the speed button every now and then, I'm cool with that. Whatever you fancy. Alrighty. Alright, it's only half a minute to go. Should we just go shoot each other? For shit, fun and giggles. I know you like to shoot.
Wanted.
You'll never take me alive.
Ground yourself.
No.
You won't stay alive!
Alright, but like I said, remember, the objectives of a life,
Ground himself.
depending on the battle situation, get information for your team. And remember, by getting that information, you have a lot of influence of the movement or not movement of your teammates. Stopping enemy lights. There's one thing I didn't talk about. Oh, did Badass leave?
Yeah, he disconnected.
And somebody else left as well. Somebody else just had enough of us.
No, I must go to sleep. To bed. It's time for me.
Alright, well, thanks for...
I'm sorry, guys. I gotta go.
Sleep tight.
Well, hopefully you enjoyed it, and see you later.
Thank you. Bye
Thank
bye.
you.
See ya.
Cheers.
User disconnected from your channel.
Alrighty. So, like I said, first objective can be spotting. Be very aware of what you spot and when you spot it and how you spot it. I cannot tell you exactly on every map how to spot because every situation can be different.
User left your
Every
channel.
matchmaking is different, and all those kind of things can influence what is the best thing to do. You have to stop the enemy light. Like I said, one thing I did not talk about, but that is actually more a medium thing.
Which is?
If I show you one specific map, you all know what it is. It used to be on this map, but it's not anymore.
Camping.
No,
Wait,
Exactly.
let's wait for the map.
exactly the opposite. You want to wait for the map?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
Getting in position.
for rush.
Take a tactical position fast. Yes. Or strategic position. Take it very fast. Take it for the team. This is map mines. We all know what happens if you control the mine. To be honest, if you are playing team battles, the mine is less important. Why?
You get yourself locked down and stuck.
Well, you can play defensive, you know. If you know that the enemy has the mine, then you can collectively decide a specific movement to go left, right, stay safe, cover each other. If you're in a random, the mine is a lot more important because it gives you a very big tactical advantage. Although, what I usually say about the mine is that it's if you fight for the mine, it's not who wins the mine wins the battle, it's the one who loses. the battle for the mine loses the battle. Because if both teams, or one team sends, for example, 4 lights up that hill, and the other sends 5 lights and medium up that hill, yeah, those 5 plus 1 are probably going to win. And that means the enemy already lost 4 tanks. So it's not the one who wins the mine wins, but it's the one who loses the battle for the mine loses the complete battle. Just because they lose a lot of tanks. But normally, like I said, taking tactical position can be very important. There's another map which is a little bit similar like that. Do we know it?
El Haluf, maybe?
No, there are not really positions where you need to... I'm sorry?
Himmelsdorf.
Himmelsdorf.
Ruinberg.
Ah, Ruinberg.
Cliff.
Absolutely, Cliff.
Maybe Abbey.
Maybe Abbey. Yeah, it's really a maybe because both sides can stay a little bit defensive on the safe sides, and they will get enough information. But Cliff is a very good example. All right, I'm going to be spectator. Let's balance it a little bit. I just want to see how you guys do. We're going to play a real battle now. And at the beginning, I want you all just try to spot. Try to spot. Don't push on them, don't brawl them, just for the spots. If you want to take tactical positions, that's cool. Go for it. But the main objective is first spot. Now how would you spot? Where would you spot? Now, what do I, for those who know me, what do I say about a light who wants to go to a certain position? Alright, before you go to any position in a light, already know how to run away from that position if you get pushed.
Good point.
And if you do not know how to run away from that position, don't go there. Absolutely, very important. Even though the position itself looks very powerful, always think like, oh, the enemy could come around the corner, the enemy could keep around the corner, the enemy could keep around the corner. Always be aware of that, and always think like, alright, I'm gonna drive away to the left, I'm gonna run away to the right, I'm gonna run away to the left, to the right. Alright, now do we have some information already?
Yes.
Yes.
Cool. What would be the best way to deal with it? Are we gonna flank? Are we gonna try to, can we get into important positions? Is there somebody a tank which is pushing too far so you can punish it? Maybe you need to regroup together and, you know, push on it. Either do it as a big group.
Can we kill fiets? Yeah.
Yeah, well, Fiets is a spectator, so no, you cannot kill him, but you are allowed to shoot each other, guys. But like I said, I'm just looking at how you play as a light and what kind of things you're doing. Like I said, if you want to go flank, if you want to go spot, if you want to take tactical positions. Remember, from every position, always think about, if they push on me, how do I run away? And if it comes down to running away, and you're a little bit afraid that they might gonna push on you, what do?
Run away.
Run away.
Run first, think later. This is going to be an interesting battle.
I don't think they can pen for back of a T-54 lightweight.
You wanna try it again?
How did you guys fall
My
off the
issue
cliff?
is that I do not know exactly what you guys spotted from each other.
We moved down and slid down a bit too fast. We didn't technically fall.
Throw him off the cliff. Oh yes. Ouch.
Mm-hmm. Yay!
That's it was a long
Alrighty.
plane.
So,
Jammer turret.
just for a little bit of evaluation. What went right? What went wrong?
We got the hill.
You got the hill, absolutely. Now, why do you want the hill?
So we could see where they were and get shots from above.
Yes, you're absolutely right. Now, can somebody tell me and explain me what do 3 tanks see more than 1 tank?
More area.
No.
On that hill, not really. No.
The main issue for them was that they left their top tier tank alone against all of us, so we could easily kill them on. And from there on, they didn't have basically the penetration to deal with me. So
Yeah.
I could just go in and
Yeah.
smash everybody in the face.
Yeah, absolutely. That 3090, he, like I said, there was a Type 64 over there, which was, pushing it a little bit too far forward, and he did not have an escape plan from that area, and he was already on the enemy side of the map. If you're there, you've got to be very, very careful, have long viewing range, and make sure you have some backup. I don't know if the 3090 was spotted moving through that area.
He was.
He was.
I
Cool.
was too.
Yeah, remember, 3090, if you see, especially if you see a tank which is 3 tiers higher than you, it automatically should start that program, run first, think later. Get away from that position. It wasn't a bad move to move away all the way around that hill, Yeah, maybe some of them stay down and you can punish it, but if you see a big one or more coming towards you, run first, think later. Run first, think later. That was a big, or at least a small mistake. Then, of course, there was a 3090 who could kill 1 tank. I don't know, maybe he did some shots on another tank, but 3 tanks left that 3090 alone. That 3090 did not have a backup. So even though it was a good thing of him to push on that 564, the other team kind of punished it because the enemy team had too many tanks on top of the hill. Their guns were not really in the game. Now, even if 2 of them would have pushed on that, what was it, Chevy in the back, that means the 3090 focused on the 554 lightweight, on the tier 9. But now he had to shoot on the Chevy as well because he didn't want to get shot in the back. So that was a little bit, confusing.
Well, I thought I could run away, but they weren't spotting the T-54 lightweight, which I didn't realise was coming up behind me along with the other Type 64.
So there were 3 lights on, or
That was the
3 light mediums on top of the hill, and
sacrificial
they didn't spot you. Ooh. Right.
So for all I knew, that T-54 lightweight was still trying to circle round.
Firstly, by the way, for the T-54 lightweight, you took some risk going up the hill. Did you notice that?
I know. I knew that exactly. That's why I was not driving with full speed, but a little bit slower in case if they drop down, then I have to go backwards immediately.
Well, technically, when you drive up the hill, you're going very slow, and you could have been shot, and you got shot by 3 different tanks, and I think you wasted a lot of hit points by doing that. Now, if you would have pushed on the ones on the lower ground first.
Yeah, but when I started pushing on the hill, they were all on top of the hill.
No. They were already down for quite a while.
Okay, then it's just my mistake, sorry.
Yeah. Alright, but no worries. It's training. Like I said, I definitely would have pushed on those tanks on the lower ground first and then go up the hill and change the last one. But like I said, going up the hill, you're very vulnerable.
Wait, I'm changing tank.
Switching tank, what do you do? Bert, you have a little bit lower tier. Medigan, you as well, a little bit lower tier.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, make it a little bit more even. You have a tier 6, would be awesome.
I do. But I don't have a 100% crew in it.
Yeah, well.
Me
it's
neither,
it's,
don't
it's a
worry.
training, so no worries about it. All right, same rule. You're gonna fight each other, and technically play as a light. So don't push in straight away with each other. But if you notice that there is one tank split off from the rest, you are allowed to group up and push on him. So that means that if you get spotted, you have to notice that probably the enemy is going to do exactly the same. Regroup or maybe run away. If you run away, that's cool. If you group up, that's cool. But don't stay in a position where you are spotted and it's like, yeah, the enemy will come and I'm going to die. Want to go for the spots in the beginning? Cool, go for it. Want to go flanking? Do it. You punish their spotters, go punish them. Of course, technically, I don't want you to die, and I don't like you to take hit points in the beginning. Like I said, that is a little bit of my issue. I can see each and every tank here. And I don't know what you guys spotted from each other. I said, if you see an advantage, you can push on it, but if you want to go flank it first, you know, if you see that an enemy tank is sniping towards a certain tank and you want to go into a flanking position, go for it.
Oh, this lack of view range is really annoying me.
Yeah, try to use the circle on the mini-map. Alright. I see C-37
Wow.
being very far forward. And they're pushing on him.
Right.
Right, do you push? Are you careful? Do you have an advantage? You have an advantage, try to take it as fast as you can. If not, play smart. Have an escape route, run away.
Come on, Todd, stand in the fight.
Got headed off at the pass.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think my crew's like at 70% in this, so not great.
Doesn't help.
So I was getting spotted before I could spot the enemy every single time.
Yeah. Remember, if you're in the light, every position you're in, always try to remember, if you don't have spot, for example, on the 1-2 line, you have to think like the enemy is on the 1-2 line. So, again, think about it. If you get spotted in whatever position, well, think already about it. If I get spotted here, how do I run away? Now, you could obviously see that Electric, no offense, it's a training, you did not have an escape plan from that position. Remember, if you want to go to a position but you do not know how to run away, don't go there. It sounds very simple, but it will definitely save your life if you think like that. And yes, it might be a little bit, you know, you play a little bit more careful in the beginning, but hey, cool.
So does that mean, technically speaking, you shouldn't go into a built-up area if you don't know the escape route from that built-up area?
Yes, but usually a build-up area is very good. Because there's a lot of hard coverage on any side. So it's quite easy to run away. Actually, open grounds are a lot more difficult. Now, for example, let's go for this map, steps. Where is it?
Oh, give me a sec.
Yeah, no worries. Now, what I hate on this map is that, what is it? On top of the right side, there's a rock with some bushes. I would recommend you never, ever, ever to go there.
There's like no escape plan whatsoever if you...
There's no escape plan.
Well, I've won matches or battles from that.
Yeah, you know, you can be looking for that position, but and if you play as a team, you can make sure that your teammates will spot. I believe it's the bush on E7.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would recommend not to go there. Sometimes if you play in a platoon or have some teammates who will cover you, Yes, you can make it over there, and it can be an awesome position. But like I said, there is no escape route.
I found a good bush is the one in F6, as you can spot anything going up past the AB line.
Do you have an escape route?
Yeah, you just head back. You just back downwards, and you can head back down the centre road.
Well, remember, if you go there, remember that the enemy already knows your position now.
Oh yeah.
So they might already start pushing you blindly. Or at least they will try to spot you, and maybe they even use their own sixth sense to spot. This could actually be a very powerful map to spot by your sixth sense. Remember, if you get spotted or see the enemy closing in, run first, think later. If you see an enemy split off, you can of course collectively with 4 can push on it.
Oh, my ping has just died.
Or if it's training. Or because it's freezing. Nah. Alright. Wow. Whew. Very brave looking. Don't know which one of the enemies was spotted. But remember, you're driving pretty much to the open now. I would recommend to try to avoid that, but always have an escape plan. If you did, for example, a flanking shot and you penetrated it and you did some damage, that is awesome. But remember, the enemy do notice that where you fired from, and they could turn their guns around. Don't stay too long in the open. Try not to take a shot in return. It's not needed. Always think, look around you, look on the minimap. What are you doing? What are your teammates doing? Do I need to support them just in case they get pushed? Do we need to push on something together?
I'm going to push and get spots.
Oh, this ping race is really shit.
Can you play level 1? Can you play level 2? Snipe unspotted.
You have a big case of up.
Do we need to take more map control? Do we need to push somewhere? Or do we have the possibility to push on something? Can we brawl something?
You didn't really have an escape route, Yogi.
No, I didn't.
Right. And as soon as you see your teammates leaving, you gotta get out of that position.
You go one side, I'll go the other. Nice shot.
Captain kill still.
Right, one of the things I see is that a lot of people, they want to do shots while playing some sort of a peekaboo game. Do you guys all know level 1?
Yep.
That's isn't that, you mean spotting from cover and not actually being spotted at all? Not actually doing anything.
Try not to be spotted at all.
Yeah.
Alright, let's Could I have how many volunteers? Just one volunteer.
Masagon is here.
Yeah, if you want to be a volunteer, pick an ice tree.
A mouse.
Oh, we have Bert already. Bert's my volunteer.
Oh, okay.
I will be chasing you guys down.
Yeah, absolutely. We are not going to stop. We are going to kill you. Now, lights. Remember what you need to do.
Wait.
Is survive and technically stay unspotted. Ah, Medigan.
Okay. I'll go back to tier 6.
Yeah, just shoot.
Nice try. Nice try.
Just to make sure.
Now, remember, you don't even have to shoot us. If you can shoot us every now and then, that is awesome. I assume everybody has those circles on the map, the green, the white, and the yellow circle.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
All right. If you're gonna shoot, shoot when we are between the white and the yellow circle. If we are inside the white circle, don't shoot anymore. And remember, we are not stationary. We're not going to cap, both of us, we're not going to cap. If you drive through the cap, well, you're only giving away information. But for the rest, it's a regular battle. Trust me, we will shoot, and we will have no mercy on you. We will push hard. Even if we get shot, it's like, oh, they're shooting from that area, we will push. Yes, we are going to stick together, Bert, or at least a little bit together. We don't have to drive the same route, but we're not going to split off. You can, split like one on the left side of a building or a rock or whatever, but
Okay.
we're not going to go one on the 2 line and the other one on the line. 9 line, no. Now, remember guys, we are not going to drive on top of the hill, so we might just get on the lower ground and we will try to stay unspotted and get close. So don't be somewhere in the bush where you cannot spot us or your teammates won't spot us if you come around. Because, Raoul, this is all about not getting spotted. It's not only about not getting shot, it's not getting spotted. Medigan, ooh, you cannot do that. No, no.
Oh, sorry, I thought it was... I tried to get a spot on me.
No, 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 this is about not getting spotted. This is about playing ninja.
Let's consider this still the previous mistake.
Oh, what is my ping rate doing?
Anyway,
Oh, this is not nice.
Oh, I knew that was a nice guy. Remember, play ninja. Don't get spotted. Don't think like, hey, you can trust your proximity of thing, because if our sixth sense goes off, we know you're somewhere. And we will push on a boost.
Alright, I'm spotted.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And I know who spotted me.
Remember, you're shooting high. Closer. Alright, like I said, always be in a position where you can spot it and then still have the time and the possibility to run off. Don't shoot between if you're inside of the white circle. We are ice free, we don't have a green range, but we are not blind. Spotted the Type 64.
Yeah, we spotted Lanky as well.
Oh, there's a 12 tank. Remember, if you know where we are, run first, think later.
Yeah, my ping's gone close to normal.
Ooh.
Never mind, it's still a bit twitchy.
Twitchy, yeah.
Twitchy.
But it's normally at 30-40, it's now about jumping between 40 and 60, so it's still more than what I normally have.
Lanky, you are spotted again. You are not doing it right. You are too close when you are firing. We spotted you as soon as you shot.
Oh, just a tracking shot. Remember, run first, think later. Only shoot if we are outside the white circle. Like I said, my crew is working on the 6th kill. I'm definitely not completely blind. That's it. Now, if you spotted us and we're moving towards you, if you can still, yeah, I'm spotted as well. If you can still run, run.
Run or we will punish.
That's it, we're not gonna be nice.
Stalin
Like I said, you don't have to shoot. You have to survive. You have to spot and you have to stay unspotted. And if that means none of you is going to do a single shot on us, yeah, cool. I mean, if you go to, for example, A0 and you stay there and we don't see you, that is awesome. You do a perfect job.
You may also become a fish.
Yeah, well, you can stay a little bit on land over there, but now I've said it, we're going to move and check out that area first.
Or are you bluffing? Ooh.
And you're spotted again, dude. But you're getting shot by the Type 64.
Yep, and that was
That's
a good
nice.
shot. Yep. Now we didn't spot you. But look what we're doing. We're turning around and we're pushing on you. Remember, as soon as we get into that white circle, run first, think later. So, we're spotted. At least I am. And we don't see anybody. So, now, if we move towards you, keep it in mind.
Spotted.
Run first. No, they probably ran off when...
When they saw you.
yeah, well, you know, they have the information. They know we're pretty close together, so that's cool.
Yeah. Oh!
You already had one critical hit on him.
You know what happened the last tank who was this close to us?
No, what happened? Oh, I missed him. Wow.
Not just you.
Run, Forrest, run.
You mean run in the
No, I didn't miss him.
Captain, kill still!
Remember, keep your distance, you know. We don't have that much of an impressive view range. That was a good shot, I think.
Yep, I'm not spotted. I mean,
it was a
he's
shot.
not.
Now, the fewer tanks you have, the more difficult it's going to be. Now, only the Cromwell got spotted once in the beginning, and the rest is not spotted yet, so if they spotted us or did some shots on us, they're an awesome job.
But when I learned what I had to do, I'm doing much better now.
Yeah. Oh, you actually got away with it without losing 6 points, so hey.
Hey, there's another Type 64.
Then roll this firmly.
Ouch!
Oh, you luck bastard.
Oh, and there's a T-37. Yep. Remember, there's one guy in my tank. He has so many skills. I already have the skill that he's about 15 minutes sacrificing goats to RNG gods. As a special. So I'm also very lucky. Don't forget it.
I am spotted.
From where?
Good question.
That means they know where we are, and they
And-
should make a move.
They are still not shooting, which means they are close.
One of them is.
It's all yours.
You cracked him. Wow.
Just for you. So I won't be the only one with kills.
The only issue the lights have is that there are no heavy CDs where they can do a into. But remember, playing with lights. If you control this game pretty well, 2 lights could obliterate the heavy tanks. Ah, good shot from the Cromwell. That's better. And again. Some trains are not allowed to shoot premium, but yeah, screw it. You want to shoot it?
I don't have a single premium shell in my Cromwell.
Really?
Yeah.
Was that regular shell?
Yeah, but I was a regular shell.
You have the same guy sacrificing goats as well.
Yeah.
That was just a
Spotted
chicken which
for
I
the
needed to
Cromwell.
I'm sacrificing Ghost of a Queen. Make her live longer.
It's definitely not the fastest thing, but it's still not spotted. It's either you found a very good camping spot or...
What I see, Fitz, is that you guys are not, how should I say, you are not too afraid of the IS-3s. You are getting too close to spot us. You need to spot us from as far as you can.
Yeah, and if you're a spotter, run first. If you're a spotter and you're not a sniper, use boost, use camo, know how to run away, use the hill. That even if you get spotted, you're instantly behind cover, but technically that's already level 2. And sometimes use your teammates to spot.
I'm wondering, why didn't we spot the VK so far? He's the best one.
I don't know.
Well, I haven't been spotted since I made my weird play.
I am spotted here.
I am not.
To the left, it could be in front of us. I don't
Left.
expect them to be to the right. No, they're left.
Run away! Run away!
You're really running that way.
3, 2, 1.
Bye, and just to make sure, yeah, I'm dead.
Nice shooting, boys. Nice shooting.
You're relatively, you know, at least you were the one who got spotted last, so.
I'm now all by myself. Spotted first, last survivor.
Let's see if you can spot us without getting spotted.
Now, if you're in a light, you also have a camo bonus.
But Crumble is not a light, don't forget that.
No, not a light, but for example, the T-37 and the Type 64 slot on. Now, what is the benefit if you are a light?
Same camo is moving is stationary.
I'd be up.
Yes,
Haven't
unless
seen
you
you
have
for a
a
while.
camo
How are
net,
you?
because that only will get active after 3 seconds. But the rest, yeah, absolutely. But when will you lose camo value?
Shooting.
Yeah. Any other reasons why you would lose camo value?
Camo net not active or something?
Yeah, well, the camo net, as you said, but the rest, no, there is no reason why you would lose camo.
Moving.
No, moving doesn't lose camo in a light.
Ah.
So, even if you're in a bush, yeah, you can just make circles and la 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 la. As long as you don't shoot, you don't lose camo. In a heavy or medium or whatever, yes. Turning your turret won't make it lose camo value, but turning your tank, it will. Now, if you use a bush in a light, when will that bush lose its camo value?
Shooting.
When you took those-
Yeah, well, it's 50, within 15 meters, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, something like that. But if you don't shoot, the bush still lose its camo value.
In proximity spotting, yes.
No, then technically the camo is still active, but proximity spotting. No, it can lose its camo value if somebody else, a teammate, will shoot pretty close. And all the people forget that, you know, they stay in a bush and they think they're pretty safe, and 10 meters behind them is a heavy tank and it shoots, and they don't understand why they got spotted. Well, that's because that heavy tank fired. And the bush just loses its camo value. It's quite funny, sometimes I do it on purpose. When I see a light hanging in the back in a bush, I just go stand next to him, fire once, pull back, and boom, 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 he's dead. Ah. Don't hang in the
Oh,
back.
you're so evil, Fiets.
Hey, I didn't do any team damage.
Yeah, true. It's his fault
I
as
don't
well.
believe that double buddy is a hoax, and nobody has it. I don't believe it.
And Matagan, are you trying to spot us at all?
I am.
You're just hiding.
No, he is running around.
Yeah, well,
He's looking
you're
for
driving
me.
circle as well.
He's using cover to spot.
Well.
I think it may be just on opposite sides of the map at the moment.
I don't know where he is.
We already did a full rotation on the map.
Yeah.
Or where are we? Driving out into DC?
I heard an owl in the forest.
Oh. We're not in the forest.
Oh, it was. Or something like
Was it
that.
the ghost that was sacrificed to
Oh,
repeat his
we're in
gun?
the forest now. Erdogan, where are you?
The ghost of the dead tank drivers are still ringing in my ears. They are laughing very evil
Move.
and scaring the shit out of me.
Yeah, or he found a position. No, I think, I wouldn't be surprised if he was now actually at A0, like, yeah, screw it.
A0 or A1.
Yeah, take it A0. We'll get him.
I'm gonna try something.
Flying tank glitch. Try and spot me from the air. Is that a valid way?
You are laughing, but once I did it with a PZ2. No, it was the. Oh yeah, it was PZ2. I used the bug in Stalingrad, made my tank fly all the way to the enemy base right at the beginning, and I spotted 15 tanks.
Yeah, but did he survive the landing? Probably not.
Yeah, not really. but I damaged one of them.
I win!
Yay! Good job. Awesome.
I finished in J9.
Good job.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you didn't spot us for the last 4 minutes.
You didn't spot me either for the last 15 minutes
So
almost.
he did an awesome job. Comes down to that. Alright, do we all understand a little bit the idea about this spotting thing?
Yep.
And how powerful it can be if you're not getting spotted at all in a light?
Extremely, because obviously your enemy doesn't know where he's getting. Well, he knows the general
Yeah.
direction, but
Yeah.
he doesn't know where you are.
Yeah. Now, the biggest issue is